As you know, as I introduced this morning before beginning the conference, the last 2 days we organized here in Salle Grand Poste with 8 startups, they will pitch now, and 30 mentors from all over the world. An accelerator, very intense one. I think it was like nearly 12 hours a day working plus parties, and it was really interesting. We went really into the subject, into very concrete stuff, and I would like just to thank the 8 startups for being part of it, and also the 30 mentors. So you can give them a good round of applause, please. So today, at the end of each acceleration program, you have a demo day. Today it is a demo day. And it's important to know that it is not a competition, an acceleration program. It is a journey. You learn stuff, you meet people. And yes, at the end, it's important to explain, to showcase, and to... Is it okay? Yes. To showcase and to explain to this audience what you are doing. So not a competition, even we have a jury today with us, 40 people. They have received on the agenda via Coralie all the details, so you can vote online with different criteria. And it's important for you guys, so the 40 members of the jury, to vote no, because we will need the name of the, let's say, winner, even it's not a competition, for tonight. So thank you for that. Last year, the winner was Tickets for Good from the UK, and in 2022, it was Audio Shake from the US. And this year, I look forward to knowing who will be the California 2024 Best Startup. We will announce the winner tomorrow at the end of the summit in the conclusion with Coralie. And it's no time to begin this accelerator. So they will all have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to pitch. It's not a lot, but guys, you were trained. Thank you again, Thierry, for the training, just right there. You were trained. You will have 3 minutes straight to the point, and then the jury will have the opportunity to ask you questions also during 3 minutes. It's also an opportunity for you guys, the other, not the members of the jury, to know what they are doing and to take advantage of this summit to discover what they are doing and to discuss with them after the demo day. So it's now time to begin. And the first one is from France. Sorry again from yesterday. And it is Maxence from Base for Music. Maxence, the stage is yours. Here we go.
Hello everyone. On July 1st, my team and I launched a real revolution in fan engagement for the music industry. This revolution is a data marketing AI that can analyze each listener consumption on streaming platform and trigger marketing campaign adapt to each fan. So now, as an artist, you can build a personal relationship with every listener, and it makes all the difference. It's very simple. Let me show you. Connect an artist with the streaming app of every listener. Analyze in real time all the consumption metrics of every listener and identify the engagement level. And trigger automatic marketing campaign adapt to each fan engagement. My name is Maxence. I am the founder of Base for Music, and with my team, we are building a powerful marketing technology to develop superfan. You know this magical audience who represent 5% of artist listeners, but over 50% of stream and merchandising purchase. So now we have the power to convert a simple listener in a real superfan. In 3 years of activity, we have made progress through our capacity to develop simple and effective marketing projects. So artists, we have launched a simplified marketing platform to manage the advertising campaign, now used by over 7,000 artists. And for labels, we have integrated more marketing tools to manage different projects, now used by over 100 labels in France, such as Epic Music or Electra Music. And about our business model, based on commission and subscription, we have achieved more 20% monthly revenue growth from the beginning of the year. We are based in Paris. We are a team of 8, and we are also proud to have prestigious partners such as Spotify or SACEM, but today it's a real turning point for us. Today, we are proud to present this AI that will revolutionize fan engagement. Not just a marketing tool, but an AI that leverages streaming consumption to connect artists with the fan and can increase the monetization of the music. So our objective is to raise 1 million in coming weeks and become the leading marketing solution in Europe within 18 months. Our plan operates in 3 steps with new key people, target key European markets, onboard more labels, and to have a better segmentation of her data. So until now, we have raised 500,000 with investors in France. Therefore, we are looking for VC with a specialist in music industry and can support us in our international expansion. So now, in the streaming and superfan area, we can define together the new reference in music marketing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Maxence. Thank you very much. 3 minutes. Perfect. Cool. Questions? No questions? Sure. Do you remember? No questions? Sure. It was crystal clear for you.
It's not really interesting? No.
It's because you were clear, maybe. Yes. Oh, you have.
There's a number of platforms like this I've seen that are doing similar things, but you know, that doesn't mean that yours isn't amazing. What separates yours from all the rest? Yeah, so now we have a lot of marketing platforms in the market to propose different services of the artist, but also label. Each platform proposes a service with a specific vision. For example, some platforms are really focused on advertising format. Other platforms propose activation like playlisting to increase the streaming. So from the beginning, our vision is really to use the marketing to build a strong fan base around the artist and use this fan base to create more super fans to increase the remuneration of the artist. So we use the advertising to reach new audience, to keep some data, analyze all the different metrics, and after to build a real relationship between artists and fans. So it's real how different with the other marketing platform on the market.
Second question. Come on, during the lunch, you were not as shy as now. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Max.
Hi, great presentation. So how do you manage only data from the DSPs or kind of social media, or any other data set that you can manage?
Yeah, exactly. So when a label creates an account in our platform, each artist profile is at the beginning linked to the social networks of the artist to identify the audience, to also be able to targeting this audience. So this is the first point. After we collect also all the different metrics on advertising services on Google Ads. We are partner of Google Ads, Spotify Studio, TikTok, or others. So we keep also this data. And our last point, it's really our big services. It's live from now 10 weeks. It was maybe 9 months of work with our technical team to be approved by the streaming platform to have the access at these metrics to can combine all the different information and to create really specific activation for each fan. So yeah, we collect all this different data.
Hello there. What do you mean by AI? And is that something that's you're developing that's proprietary to you, or is it not? Is it easily replicable?
Yeah. So I talk about AI because at the beginning it was whole technology and whole first development, it was a media buying technology, and now we use all the different metrics about our listener to scoring his engagement. So in this time, we can collect all the different information about advertising, about streaming consumption, but tomorrow, we can also use the metrics of merchandising or ticketing to be able to analyze in real time for each person the level of engagement and launch just after specific campaign for one guy. So for example, we launch a marketing campaign for big artists. How AI can identify the level of engagement of specific guy and decide if it will be better to launch an email, if it will be better to launch an advertising campaign or just a SMS. So it's really the smart technical inside our technology.
I wanted to understand how exactly are you re-engaging? You started by saying you're a super fan app. So how exactly are you engaging the fan base with the artist?
Yeah, so for example, we are launching different tests with artists in France like Kungs or Eddie De Preto. About a new release, the artist explain at the fan base, okay, the next week I release a new project. So for example, I can send at my 100 top listener on Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer an exclusive access for my next listening session. So you can do that. So there are a connection between the artist and the fan. And maybe after 1 month or 2 months after the release, the label can send a specific message to someone to say, hey guys, thank you for listening. It's really cool to have to be in the whole community, and maybe in 3 months we can send you a specific access. So thank just to listen how artists is very cool. So we can make very specific thing with every listener.
Similar question to over there. You got in there first. In terms of the data that you're capturing,
yeah,
how are you able to identify that super fan, and how are you able to have two-way engagement? Are you able to have two-way engagement? So, for example, there's platforms that exist where they'll capture this data,
yeah,
and you can identify Jerome is my super fan because he's listened to my Spotify track 20 times, he's bought 100 euros worth of merch,
yeah.
He's been to 15 gigs. How do I identify that with this platform? Are you able to identify that person with this platform?
Yeah, exactly. So how service and how AI exist inside a feature called Fanbase, and it's a fan-based relation management. Inside, we can create specific segmentation between different information like the location, the revenues, the consumption on streaming platform, and it's really, we can identify all the different information, centralize all these different metrics, and after how AI can, it's like a scoring for each person to say, okay, in the last 7 days, it was this 100 top fan, but if you check the last 6 months, it was completely different because this guy stream your last project, but also check your merchandising service or check also ticketing. So we can really identify, create different segmentation with all the different data. Sorry?
You have the relevant licensing in place to get that data. So, for example, in the UK, you'd have to abide by GDPR.
Yeah, so whole license and whole agreement, it was a long work for us to be approved and by the platform to approve whole AI. So it was maybe 9 months of work to be approved by the technical team of Spotify, Deezer and Apple Music. It's really between now the listener and us. When you approve our connection, we can have an access. It's a lot of rules, but we can have an access at all this different information. And yeah, after it's really it's between Spotify and us, and when the listener approve, we have the agreements to use all the different metrics.
Last one, very last one.
Not so shy. So you mentioned that you also help these artists find new fans and super fans. Do you reach out or build connections with the online promoter community? I'm talking about like blog writers, playlist curators, maybe even radio stations. I want to just give a small example of that. When I did a music release, I put my music on Submit Hub, and they would like show me a list of promoters I could send the music to. Is that something that you have considered?
No, actually, we have different partnership with this typology of service, like Groover in France, for example, because he proposed at the artists to send a message to curators, to professionals. Our service is really around marketing services. So at the beginning, we have started with specifically a media buying technology. So now we are connected with 5 advertising networks. The objective is really to target specific audience and after to be able to use the data about advertising, about consumption to make specific activation, but it's always marketing inside the whole platform. And for other things, we have partners to do that.
Thank you, Maxence.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next startup, Büene, represented by Denis. Denis, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm raising 5 million euros to build the future of television, a digital festival that will run 24/7 live, where you can watch your favorite music concert from your favorite band, live and TV quality from the comfort of your couch, as well as take one-on-one guitar lessons from Bon Jovi. Now you're asking yourself probably, why isn't that possible today? And the reason is simple. DSPs simply don't pay enough. And the reason are ad-based business models that promote reach over quality, where creators are just a number. My question to you today is, can't we do better? The solution I propose is simple. A P2P marketplace with a transaction-based business model. 100% creator and human-centric. Where creators get to monetize on their terms because we give them the tools and services from day one and support them. Where we connect creators and brands and apply the Red Bull model. Turn advertising into patronage and let brands advertise like James Bond. Our business model is simple. We take 10% from any transaction and sponsorship deals. And we also sell software and services. We will discover, produce, and promote the next Mr. and Mrs. Beast. For the past 3 years, I have been bootstrapping this project. I have talked to hundreds of people out of the ecosystem, and many, if not all of them, are interested and eager to work with büene. Here are the insights I gathered, and I can sum them up in one simple sentence. People love watching music, and if you invest in creators, everyone else will follow. We have a private beta. Now we are ready to go live. And so today is your chance to invest in the future of television. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denis. Any questions?
Hi there, thank you for the presentation. I think it was the last point of the last slide, and that is the 1 million views, the people. I believe this could work, but you need to have a minimum mass, a minimum amount of people to be active. And to reach that point, that's the real challenge in my opinion. How do you ensure that you attract enough people so that it can start rolling?
Great question. Thank you very much. So first of all, I can't promise anything, right? But let's take Les Adons, for example. We have a festival coming up here, right? Now it's a hugely popular festival, but they started out from 0 too. And so in a way, it's really simple, right? You need great content, you need great booking, you need a great theme, and then people will be interested in that. And so there's proof and proof again, whether online or offline, that this happens. So yeah, is it difficult? Sure. But if I book the right people, their fans will want to watch that, and that's what I'm counting on.
I am all about disrupting industry, so bravo to you for going in that direction. How would you describe what makes you different than YouTube outside of the commission structure?
That's also a great question. The simple answer is just by being different and not being YouTube. Now that's not going to be enough, and I know that, right? It's really all about the business model. And I know you said the transaction isn't going to do it, but I think that is exactly the whole point. In the last couple of days, I was part of the accelerator, and there's a big focus on the attention economy, right? And everyone's trying to make money with the attention economy. But this isn't just a music summit, it's also a health summit. And the attention economy and our focus on that has led to the problems that we are facing today. Look at Instagram, look at Meta, look at all these things, right? Children watching porn, children with mental health issues, us adults having problem getting off the news feed. The algorithm sucks you in. And even on a societal basis, if we look bigger and larger, it's destroying our democratic societies. And that's the whole problem. If my platform, if my incentive is to keep you on my platform as long as possible, like a slot machine, that's the wrong incentive. And if that's my profit driver, and if my shareholders are forcing me to turn up the volume on that, I don't want that. And there's a great company in India, by the way, and they're called Hungama, and they run on a transaction-based business model. They've been around for 20 years. People purchase on average twice a week on that platform, spend maybe 3 or 4 hours. That's it. I want people to go outside and live a life. But when they're on my platform, I want them to have and enjoy meaningful content, to support one another, and to actually grow and connect. So that's my simple answer to that. Thank you.
Last question, maybe? No.
Okay, so can you go to the previous slide? Okay. The item promote 500 plus recorded concerts. How are you going to clear those rights? Every concert, if a 90-minute concert, if artists play, 30 songs, that's 300 rights. If you have 500 concerts, you end up in the, tens of thousands of rights that need to be cleared. And this is one of the things that I just talked about of, are the rights and the licensing in proportion to the business model?
Great question. I think music licensing, right, is a huge challenge, no doubt about it. You pointed it out. Those 500 recorded concerts are independent concerts that are already on YouTube. So those have already been cleared. So me then working again with Gemma to clear those on my platform and to get brands to finance that is the way I'm going.
The music that's on YouTube is because YouTube has the rights to be able to do that, for which they have paid billions of dollars. So just because something is on YouTube does not mean that you can port it and host it on your platform unless you are hosting everything on YouTube and relying on YouTube's rights.
Exactly. I'm just saying that is already the blueprint there. So essentially, I'm going to Gemma and the rights holders, and I'm going to clear them for my platform too. And I'm going to finance that through the brands. So that's what I meant earlier. it's a very expensive business, no doubt about it. Someone's got to pay for it. So I'm going to find a different way to pay for it, but it's going to have to be paid. You're absolutely right. That's my solution. There's no working around the, Gemma and GVL and Universal and, I mean, that's going to happen, obviously. But no one's going to do a deal with me without the content on the platform. So there's a kind of a chicken and egg problem where at least I've got the content, then I can go to them and say, okay, now let's get a deal done. Thanks.
Thank you, Denise. Next one, Figaro, represented by Lydia. Lydia, the stage is yours.
Hi, I am Lydia Gregory, co-founder and CEO of Figaro. And for the last 4 years, we have been training Figaro to understand meaning in audio. Why? Because audio is the next frontier in machine learning. Just as computer vision and natural language processing now power more applications than we could have ever imagined, audio is next. And why do we need audio intelligence? Well, we all know that the rate of audio content creation continues to explode across all media types. And this creates a massive need to be able to listen to it and understand it at scale for the purposes of search, content management, detection of rights infringement, and new use cases such as detecting deepfakes and intelligent creator tools. Now that we know machine learning's ability to listen at scale is just perfect for this, but through hundreds of customer discovery conversations, we've found that developers in a really wide range of organizations are struggling. They're having to curate their own data sets, train models, and it's inefficient, it's expensive, and it's uncertain. And they're all repeating the same actions. So that is why we are building Figaro. That is why we are building Figaro to be the central platform. We're building a comprehensive library of audio intelligence modules, each one designed to serve a specific use case. We're doing the work once so that the developers, they can focus on solving business problems. Today, our modules serve the needs of search and content management for music. They're accessible via API and users pay based upon usage. We already work with some of the biggest names, and most recently, we won an Innovate UK grant to develop the next module, Voice ID, for detecting deepfakes of artists singing vocals. And we're doing this in conjunction with Lewis Silkin, the UK distributor Horus Music, and artist Imogen Heap. And the secret sauce of our team of 9 human beings is our breadth of experience, which goes right from deep mathematical understanding of machine learning through to commercial experience growing music tech startups. We're supported by some of the best exited tech founders in the UK, including the ex-chair of Audio Analytic that did environmental sound detection in Ring doorbells before exiting to Meta. And we've built this support network. It's not working. No? Just point it here. Ah, there we go. Okay. And we've built this support network because music really is just the beginning. Everything that we are building in music can be built upon to power applications in media and entertainment, advertising and gaming, and finally through to a total market size of $7 billion. And that's because everywhere that there is audio, it can be listened to at scale and meaning extracted to drive decisions and actions. That could include early detection of faults in manufacturing machinery through to monitoring the health of livestock. And this is an investable opportunity because there is a real efficiency to building a centralized platform. The knowledge of the system compounds, and we get more efficient at releasing each module. And the value is in the number and breadth of applications that can be built on top of Figaro. And that is why today we are raising a £3 million seed round to hit key strategic milestones and really prove this platform business model. This sets us up for a world in 2030 where there are literally trillions of listening-enabled devices, all taking in audio. And we are doing this because we believe that audio intelligence is going to impact every industry. And Figaro is going to be the platform powering the audio intelligence at the heart of each application. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia.
Okay. Are you considering like opening the platform to other developers, or is it just algorithms developed by the company? Like, if you want to grow the market, I guess at some point it could be interesting to be the intermediary in a way for this sort of solutions, or like what's the focus there?
So we're definitely considering it. It's fair to say in our current model, every model that we're training is proprietary. And that's because we're going and licensing the data for each use case, building the model, and that's kind of our moat. I think there really could be a use case, though, as we get further along. If we actually want to scale, there could be a reason to then, yes, license in third-party models. But for the moment, we're looking to build them ourselves. And as I kind of mentioned, that efficiency point, one of the reasons is actually, we call them modules because there's kind of multiple models potentially powering them. So we might have built a model over here and then find that actually we can also use it to power more than one use case. So that efficiency piece is actually pretty important for scale. But yeah, not ruling out. Thank you.
Hi, Lydia. Very strong pitch. Congratulations. One question that I had, you mentioned you have a platform business model. I'd like to learn a little bit more, about the revenue model and how you see it evolving in the future. And also maybe identify, you mentioned a couple of industries that you're targeting. Have you seen any particular successful industries that you've worked with already?
Thank you. So maybe I should give you, this platform business model is an evolution for us. So say we've been doing this for 4 years, and it was early days of machine learning back then, and we found we basically had to work full stack. We were gathering the data, training models, building infrastructure, and then actually having to build applications for music supervisors or whoever we were targeting. And we were basically finding each one of those needs, they were too specific and kind of too small for us to service. But where we are today with machine learning now seems like the perfect moment. There's enough knowledge within developers within each company to actually provide this platform essentially for them to work with. So the business model we're looking at, as I say, is by usage. So we're following examples of companies like AWS, where basically you pay for what you use. And the primary driver of that is basically number of minutes of audio processed.
Thank you for your pitch. It was really very nice, and indeed it covers a new gap, I think, in the world of machine learning, which is audio. I'm also working in AI and machine learning. But the thing that I was wondering is, because I think the new evolution will be focusing on sound, and how are you going to stay ahead of the competition like OpenAI or other companies who have huge resources to develop new technologies? Are you just going to, when there is an improvement, integrate it into your platform using the APIs, or are you going to do custom development, or how? Yeah, that's how are you going to handle that?
Very good question. There is a lot of money in the AI in the US, I know. So yeah, there's a few strands to that. So one, to date, we've been funded through, we were revenue generating from day one, and we've bootstrapped it, also now taken on angel investment. We're doing this round because we've realized we basically need to change gear. So I think actually institutional funding is going to be a big part of moving fast to achieve this. I think it's also worth saying, we're planning also a growth round in 2025, so we're proving this for 18 months, and I think it'll be important for us to actually do that growth round partly in the US, so that we actually can access some of that level of capital. The other part, when you talk about OpenAI and what happens if they go quickly, which they tend to, so there's a couple of things. I think one, there's some elements of audio that I think make it different to something like ChatGPT. So my co-founder, the mathematician, Kevin Webster, he's come to the conclusion that we're reaching the end of this idea that just more data, bigger models solves everything. And I think particularly in audio, there's an argument for actually, if you want high performance, you need models for specific use cases and the ability to customize them, which is something I didn't go into here. But it's worth saying, if a model does come out and we can legally use it, then actually that could be a way to reduce our costs. So we're not averse to actually plugging it into our system. and using that. The moat that we have, and the reason why that would be actually advantageous for us, is because we are looking to license data and then we curate it for the use case. We can basically fine-tune those models. So for each of those use cases, we'll train auxiliary models, that kind of thing. So basically then we can improve the performance of whatever general model has come out.
Thank you, great pitch. And I don't want to swear in the church with my question. I'm a VC, so we always say focus, focus, focus. Yeah? And I see your route. So you started in the music industry, and then I see other markets, where I also see maybe a lot of more money available, and VCs that are maybe more attracted to those markets. Why do you particularly choose this market as the first market, where I can imagine, and I'm happy to talk with you actually, that other markets would make that you have an easier entry?
Very good question. Yes, so this came up in the accelerator as well. So part of the reason we're in music is our background, it's what we know. So prior to this, there was two of us who started, and then we brought a late stage co-founder. We'd worked in a very early generative music startup, so that's what we know. And we have the relationships and things. So that was one driver. I think also, therefore, that there's actually problems to solve in music where we had access to data and access to those problems. So that was a really good place to start. With these future use cases, so I mentioned we brought on board an advisor and an investor who had worked with, so Audio Analytic, fascinating company. They did tiny ML on devices. I mentioned Ring doorbells. It was like, if you hear glass smashing, is it a glass or a window? Those kind of use cases. Exited to Meta, reportedly, for a healthy sum. And we've brought him on board because he understands the challenges of actually gathering those types of data sets and targeting those use cases. And so one thing I mentioned in our 18-month strategic milestones, we've got a roadmap within music, but we're considering actually one of those modules potentially exploring one of these future markets. And I think we'd do that to actually prove the need, prove we can do it. But the reason we start in music really is background, understanding the needs, and access to data in the short term. But yeah, I would love your advice.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you very much.
Next one, Ryan will pitch Infinite album.
The world is just now learning how powerful AI can be for the creative industries, but I've known for over 10 years. I'm Ryan Groves, CTO and co-founder of Infinite Album. In 2015, I launched an AI music app that sang your direct messages to your friends. It went top 10 worldwide. It exited to Google. But I've never seen a fit for the capabilities of AI music as perfectly suited and as lucrative as it is with gaming. Worldwide gaming revenue is over $200 billion, larger than just about every other creative industry combined. 80% of that money comes from in-game purchases. About a half of that is useful to gameplay, like upgraded battle passes, but the other half is just for fun, like dance moves and costumes for your game character. Music is not part of that. Turns out you don't need a music license to sell a virtual t-shirt. Infinite Album puts gamers in charge of their game music. Imagine if you could have a Kendrick Lamar soundtrack in Fortnite without Kendrick having to compose anything and without the game developer having to program any of the loops into the game. That's what we do. Let me show you how. Our current product is a desktop PC app that creates music infinitely, in real time, as the game is played. Players can select from our own catalog of styles, and we work directly with artists to create infinite music in their style. Players can select emotion, or they can select mappings which automatically determine how the music reacts to the game. Today, our users are gamers who need copyright-safe music for their live streams so that they don't get copyright strikes. Our app is ad-supported and subscription-based. So here's the thing. Gamers already play Spotify while they play games. So we're monetizing and productizing an existing behavior and taking on the heavy lifting of music licensing and music creation. We demoed at TwitchCon, and every streamer we talked to said that they would love a solution like this. We oversubscribed our beta, we were first to market, and we have 30% retention. We also launched our first artist-branded sound pack to create music in the style of Thomas Barrington. We have more in the pipeline, and we've sorted out the contracts and the royalty system for that. Our team is amazing. My co-founder, Karen Allen, did strategy for the RTYST and over 90 music tech startups. We have world-renowned advisors from MediMusic, and legal companies. We're raising $2 million to supercharge our marketing, to onboard more artists, to build apps for mobile and console, and to execute on a pipeline of game dev partners. We are the recorded music industry's shortcut into the most lucrative part of gaming. We are Infinite Album. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Questions?
Oh, everything's clear.
Yeah, Gareth.
Good pitch. Liked it very much, and the demo worked as well. Audio is always nice.
Yeah.
I guess the question I've got is, like people servicing like gamers in this space, like you're not free from competition. There are others doing so, and your route to market presently is largely the app stores, if I got it right, like Overwolf, etc. The
yes.
kind of like app stores that sort of service gamers and stuff. So can you talk a little bit about your go-to-market strategy and your view on kind of like how, like we're obviously in early market, it's not like it's a zero-sum game, like everyone was talking about earlier, but like what's your view on like kind of how you take to market and how you position for success?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right, currently our app is an Overwolf app and we're selling directly to gamers. And we've also integrated with Twitch so that we can monetize musical transactions on live streams as well. So you can create a musical communication layer between viewers and the streamers that they love watching. Gamers themselves are a massive market. There's 3.5 billion gamers out there. Like I said, that 42% of them are playing Spotify or some other service while they game. But we also have LOIs from different game partners because this is a pretty obvious solution for game developers as well. And that's really the way that we get in-game stores so that we can do things like sell a hip-hop hat that comes with a bass where every time the user puts it on, that hip-hop bass gets integrated into your soundtrack. And that's also how we do things like taking your personalized profile from game to game. So yeah, I mean, the way that we access that is through plugins, essentially. So we've already developed some core technology for a Unity plugin. With the raise, we want to expand that to Unreal, and like I said, we have a pipeline of game dev partners who are willing to try this already.
Are you targeting independent artists or major label artists, and what kind of deals does that look like? What's the revenue share?
Yeah, well, the revenue share is proprietary, but we've sorted this out already with networks, and independent artists are beneficial to us because they own their own publishing. So we have deals on both the label and the publishing side for each artist that we take on board. But the cool thing is that we've sorted out the legal framework for compensating people for training data. So we've built some foundational models that require very, very small amounts of data, and so we can create a style pack based on an artist with 5 to 10 songs. And that's something that pretty much no one else can do, or very few other people can do. And then we make it work in real time, which is also quite challenging. So yeah, we've sorted out that legal framework. We've built our own royalty tracking system because we actually can't use traditional royalty tracking because it's based on plays. And if you play one of our songs, which we call vibes, it could play infinitely. So obviously we can't get compensated a single time. So we've developed our own system for that as well, and it's launched already and working.
Hi. I just wonder if you could, I'm just over here. Hello. I just wondered if you could clarify to what extent the AI in your system is using underlying samples to create ongoing loops, and to what extent, if any, and how it's reacting or adaptive audio in the context of gameplay.
It's very much the latter. So it's more of a compositional AI. So we're actually composing note to note. And so we also, and then additionally we have the opportunity for users to create their own songs, which then gives them sort of like a dependable musical scenario. So it's essentially like an infinite variation machine that's based off of like that initial musical material. And then anything that's played in our system can adapt emotionally, or you can change style. We have a feature on our Twitch extension where you can add cowbell to any single track for 50 cents or whatever the streamer decides is the price. So we're also monetizing. We have an incredible opportunity because music is fun, and manipulating music is fun, and putting that in a game is exactly the place where that fun can not only happen but also be monetized. So we've already done that with our Twitch extension with these musical transactions. But yeah, that's sort of a long-winded answer to say that, yeah, we've built all our models from scratch. My background is, did my master's in machine learning and music theory, won Best Paper Award at ISMIR, which is the best AI music conference in the world, back in 2016. And I also run the AI Song Contest, the nonprofit on the side.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much.
Next one, Lissen, pitched by Benjamin. Benjamin, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ben, and I'm the founder of Lissen, a new interactive music platform combining music streaming and experiences. Now, why? During the pandemic, an artist friend of mine called me with 500,000 followers on music platforms and telling me that he had to start working for Amazon Delivery because he was not making a living. He started explaining to me that most of the money is in live and streaming doesn't make him enough. And live is actually better because he can engage with his fan base, which is the reason why he can monetize all that. So I did some research and I came up to the conclusion that actually this is a side effect of a problem that we haven't solved since the advent of online music. And that thing, this is fandom. I think, yeah, there you go. Spoiler alert. So, fandom is too complicated in music. If you compare it to other creative industries like gaming, for example, everything is too complex, too long. People don't have time. Fans want more mind-expanding emotions and experiences. How do you provide it to them if they have to go to 5 different apps? We're the only industry doing this. Artists also would like more. They would like to be more engaged with their audience, and they would like to monetize it more. But at the moment, they have to take care about all the marketing to bring everyone to their world. The solution would be to actually have a cohesive approach for everyone to be on the same ecosystem. That's why I think that we should, there you go, spoiler again. That's why I think that we should focus on a cohesive experience where you mix what we call experiences, so concert, merch, services, imagine cameos, stems, anything an artist can provide, and music streaming. If you bridge that, then it means that you create a simple, very simple acquisition channel where fans can discover an artist, connect with their world, and then enjoy. But their world is not just music or not just experiences. How does this work? We call this interactive. So this is the app that is already live in the UK. You're able to access the music that you want as you used to, right? And enter experiences. And in very simple, at your fingertips, you can basically enter the discovery for artist challenges in that case, right? You want to find concert, you want to find merch, anything. You want to find a way to interact with it. In that case, we gamified the access to, hey, if you play my new single today, you can win and enter the raffle to win a concert ticket. And then at the end, you're able to enjoy the experience. All of this happened at your fingertips, very quick, easy, simple, everyone can access it. This is powered by, again, by a fan-centric model that we think is going to enable us to tackle the market that weighs more than 20 billion at the minute. More than 20 billion because we have direct-to-consumer platforms popping up all over the place, and it's very fragmented, Patreon, passes, and so on. And we're still minus 25% compared to the 99 CD era peak. I think this is because we have to find a way to grow the market, and for this we need to be able to bring in users, consumers, people that enjoy music. What have we done so far? We raised 6 figures last year, and we basically built an amazing team, an amazing product, and we managed to sign for more than 25 million songs, our unique royalty model that we call fan-centric. We just raised 7 figures, so that's going to help us to basically check our product market fit in the UK and start showing initial traction. This is going to lead us to our go-to-market strategy, where we are aware that at the beginning we're going to have to coexist with incumbent and existing music platform, showing via independent music that there is a product market fit for it, while being aware of the industry market fit we need to focus on. This is where we're going to start showing up in all your LinkedIn, because we're going to raise 5 billion to propel our European expansion and rest of the world. First, we coexist like Facebook did when MySpace was the incumbent, and then we're going to focus on disrupting. Thank you. So just in case, we know that the music landscape is really complicated to navigate, so we'll be very happy to talk with everyone in the room, because you guys have been here a bit longer than myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Hi, Ben. Can you explain a bit more about what you mean with fan-centric model?
Yes. So this is, I call it user-centric 2.0. It's a model that I designed myself when, like, 2 years ago, I actually found out this problem, right? So at the moment, I would say that you have pro-rata artist-centric on one side. This is, the model has been existing for the last 20 years. Fan-centric is basically user-centric with that attack vectors that are removed. So the whole concept is, as a fan, your money is only going to the artist that you stream. That's not the case at the minute. That's what we do, to simplify it. But yeah, we basically, so for example, you can know as an artist how much money you made at the end of the day. We don't count in stream, we count in time. Yes, sir.
Hi. So do you think how much you can boost the ARPU or the lifetime value from each audiences? So because not going to just move the money to the artist from the A services to B services, how much can you make incremental revenue with the gamification approach?
So we separate our income stream in two, right? So we have recurring revenue, which will be the music subscription. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. It already works, so we're going to do the same thing. On the experiences, so the point is that thanks to fan-centric, you can actually pay indirectly without knowing it as a fan by streaming something, right? Stream my single today, that is worth something. It's not just one stream that you need to go over a money pot. That's attention that you just monetized. On the experiences side of things, we're going to basically integrate horizontally, because we don't want to start competing with people already, like Ticketmaster, Live Nation, DICE. People already have established market. What we want to show is that the simplification of the acquisition channel enable more business, because people now enjoy music, making music a thrill again, right? And this is going to be a vertical that we're going to start developing next year. So theoretically, it's going to be incremental and not like a subscription base. The ARPU will depend on the deals that we sign with our partners. So of course, in the future, you can imagine a cut, but it depends on the deal. Yeah,
That's actually my question. So how are you getting music onto your platform, and then what's your strategy for, do artists need to be on the platform in order for this to operate?
So so we signed licensing deals on the publishing side and on recording side, right? So we're the only one in the world with that. And so to go on the platform, they need to distribute through our distribution partners that we're going to publicly announce in August, right? So we already have that pipeline working. And the next part was, sorry.
Do you need artists on this platform for you to operate like?
Oh yeah. So we start
your strategy
literally.
there?
Yeah, my CTO just called me an hour ago. We actually started. So with some of our partners, distribution partners, for example, you can have a button literally like claim your account. So the next 2 months are going to be like claim your artist profile on Lissen, and this is where we start the knowledge transfer, where we show them how they can leverage that with their strategy. To throw like the AI word right here, right? We're going to basically use AI to simplify all your acquisition channels as an artist, right? You have your Shopify, you have your website, whatever partnership you have. We're going to use that. So people that scrape the data on the internet know how difficult it is. We actually develop we're developing now our own models to help you to say, connect that website, that website, that website to my account. Because on Lissen, I enable a D2C relationship. Yeah.
2 questions for you. First, are you seeing current DSPs are competitors or a way out?
DSPs?
Like Spotify or Deezer, because as you mentioned, you're looking to provide with more RPU to artists. And I guess every label and artist would be happy, but they're also working on how to address superfans and how to do other tiers and offer other things. You can buy merch, you can have tickets and that sort of stuff. So that's my first question.
Yeah, so to answer like the last piece of it, I think that the way it's done right now, I call it a branch out, right? When you're on some of these music platforms, you have to branch out to another service, right? That's a terrible user experience. Again, gaming. They figured this out 10 years ago already, right? So this, we're going to bypass that. At the moment, we don't see the major DSPs as competitors because we're going to focus on the independent sector first, right? And we're going to focus on the customer segment of fans and superfans, not retail, right? Because these are the ones where we're going to provide high-res, hi-fi like audio by default, for example. So the customer segment that we target is not the same. That's the coexist phase. Then if we show the product market fit, it's going to be another conversation. But at the moment, the most important is to show that simplifying all these acquisition channels that we have in the music industry is the most important point.
A last question that was raised by Web3, whether it sticks or not, that's another question, is first-party data. Do you own all the data? Has the artist access to it?
So the data regarding licensing?
No, regarding
the user base?
Yeah.
Usage. So yes, we own the data because we built our own platform, right? So we are a streaming platform by default. The first time people are going to hear about us is like, oh, I can stream my artist. And they will say like, I don't have all the music in the world. And I will be like, do I have something else? And the whole point with a fan-centric model is to actually incentivize the artist to participate in the ecosystem. You create like a triptych between fans, artists, and Lissen so that everyone is incentivized to be in the ecosystem, right? With Web3, the correlation. So for example, Web3 is embedded in the app. I think that the combination of Web2 and Web3 is great, but it's not mature enough yet. So we are very well connected with the Web3 ecosystem, but at the moment I prefer to show the product market fit in Web2. But yes, you can imagine a lot of, for example, like Sasam is experimenting with music rights on chain. So yeah, I think it's exciting for the future of the use cases it could unlock. Not just for the tech, it's like what does it give to the people? Yeah.
Hello, thanks for the pitch. How are you going to get to 200,000 monthly active users this year? That's quite a punchy
To 200,000?
Did you say 200,000?
Year one. Year one.
Year one? So how are
so
you gonna
from
do
launch, so September.
Yeah, so how
oh, you want to go-to-market strategy?
Yes, please. if
Let's
that's
go.
okay.
Oh, okay. I'm excited. Okay, so we have 2 acquisition channels regarding our user base, right? The first one will be digital, obviously, and the second one in person. So we're going to launch just in the UK with the target to expand to France right after because that's where we cleared publishing, right? Recording cleared at the European level as of now, and publishing we do territory per territory. The way we're going to get there is by targeting unis. Think about the Facebook go-to-market strategy back in the days, right? Universities first because they tick all the boxes. A lot of them are in the customer segment of fans versus super fans. They heard about Bandcamp. They have been to a concert once, maybe a year. And at the same time, we can literally show them live. Imagine next Saturday, I'm at the university close to you. We organize a party. We make the local band play at 5 past midnight. And of course, we organize interactions and challenges during the day, but we also incentivize people to say, Willy Wonka, you name it, because now artists can manage that for themselves. They play, people have a good time, and at 5 past midnight, the artists already know how much they generated, and they can already leverage the relationship they created with their fans. Because on Lissen, you don't just follow to tell the platform what you like. You can also activate a contact, which means that now it's the equivalent of a manager getting the email address of a fan. Of course, vetted by Lissen, right? So you can't send anything you want, but you can basically market what you're doing to the fan base. So yeah, in person, universities first, at the same time online, and then we're going to start expanding to different demographics. Does that answer the question? Hi.
You mentioned in order to join the platform, you need an exclusive distributor.
No. It's not exclusive at all. It's some of the distributors. I can't say the name. I wish, but like it's just that when you distribute, right, you can tick the boxes on the DSPs that you want to be in. The ones we have a partnership with, they will have Lissen, and they can't have their music on Lissen if their music is not distributed through one of our partners.
Okay,
so
cool.
it's not exclusive at all.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that really stood out to me is you realize that not every independent artist is independently published, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so how do you plan to get around that?
That's why we do the publishing on a territory per territory basis. So making a deal with PRS for music and all their non-members, for example, for mechanical and performance. And we do the same country per country. Then we'll go to ICE level.
Yeah, we should have a conversation. There's a slight difference there, but yeah, let's have a conversation after.
On the publishing? Yeah, let's have it.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Next one, Geyre pitching MediMusic. Geyre, the stage is yours.
Right, let's see if I can get this right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Bonjour. My name's Gary Jones. I'm CEO of MediMusic. I'd like to tell you 3 short, compelling, and true stories. If I can get this working, yeah, okay. This is Vera and Brian. At the age of 83, Vera was diagnosed with dementia. She presented agitation every afternoon at the same time. It was frightening what happened, absolutely frightening. And the kind of net effect of that was that Brian felt like he lost his bond. Matty is one of the 53% of the UK population who are dental phobic. Each time he's given a sedative, and unfortunately each time he is sick. Oh, is it that way? Yep. Angela, huge gardening fan, loves to garden, but unfortunately has chronic back pain. So she takes far too many painkillers just to be able to garden for 2 hours a week. Oh. Give a slide away. But what if there was a solution to this problem? What if that solution was backed by science, could be used by doctors and healthcare practitioners, and at the same time reduce costs and improve medication performance, particularly anxiety and pain drugs? Well, there is. Music. MediMusic uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to mimic the human brain's response to music. We have a highly experienced scientific team and a very experienced management team. And over the course of the last 3 to 4 years, we've been drawing on 40 years of research and 25,000 academic papers that categorically prove music impacts the human physiology positively in an enormous way. And the science is solid, believe me. We're about measuring, so pre-listening, listen, post-listening. The data that we capture from this is then squirted into a KPI screen that shows practitioners not only the patient benefit, but also the cost benefit. In terms of validation, we've done a number of closed user group sessions with the NHS. NHS for us is long tail, it's a difficult sale, but they've come to us, so we're very fortunate. 90% of the cohort across one of our dementia trials responded positively, and we got 61.5% of them back within their resting heart rate range. Now that is phenomenal, because normally anything above 30% is statistically significant, and I'm thrilled, really thrilled to say that we're actually now an official NHS supplier. Subscription-based SaaS model, 2 levels, $99 a month for the basic service. For the full service, it's KPIs, so it's all the data that I talked about in terms of patient benefit, drug performance, and so on and so forth. Our current pipe is about 1.2 million over the next 12 to 18 months, and we believe this to be a 100 million plus market in just the dementia, pain, anxiety, and music therapy beachhead that we're approaching at the moment. We're about to do a trial with 3 high security prisons, another 3 NHS trusts, and we'll add that into the pipe as and when that concludes. Personally, for me, this has been an incredible journey. I've seen firsthand how music can affect people with dementia and pain, and it's impactful, it's incredibly emotional. I've seen also the benefits that it can do in terms of reducing drug consumption, anxiety drugs and pain drugs, which is why we're asking for 1.5 million, 250K of which we've already got from our existing VC, And that's for a UK rollout in terms of scaling sales, US starting, and I'd love you to come and join me on this journey, because believe me, it's really, really worthwhile. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Great pitch. Quick question. On the business model, who's the client? The one with the pain, so the patient, or are you also targeting the institutions that provide care?
So, good question. I mean, the challenge is being focused, laser focused. And one of the issues we have is there are so many uses for this. I mean, when I started on this journey, I was amazed at how many doctors already use music. Dentists use music. There's music therapists. So it kind of varies. So we're currently going we're licensed with the labels, and we're just going through the commercial licensing part of it with the labels now. So we split the licenses, I think you know. And basically, it's the patient in terms of dementia or the family. So, although we do have 3 care homes that are going to look at the benefit of it, because it's a cost saving for them in terms of the cost of agitation. It's the hospital with the NHS. Music therapists, but then we're giving the music therapists the ability to resell to their existing clients, because effectively we make music therapy scalable. So there are different models, and we found the labels have been great. They've taken it on board. We're working really hard to create quite a unique model with them.
Hi. Good pitch. I enjoyed it. Question, can you go back over your view of the size of the market? So how big do you think this market is and gets?
Yeah. If you speak to me and speak to my CFO, they're 2 different numbers. He tends to be a bit more optimistic than me. No, I mean, so the US and UK market in music therapy, mental health, dementia, and dental anxiety is unquestionably 100 million. I'm happy to share the figures with you afterwards and how we've worked it out. But beyond that, if you look at the use case of this, there's palliative care, there's stroke, which is, music's very, very well documented. The benefit of music and stroke is well documented. The market's huge, so we've had to remain focused, and it's been one of the challenges. But we kind of. Is what we believe is achievable.
Is that's what you think you can achieve, not what you think
that's
the
what we
total
believe to be
market
achievable
is.
revenue. That's for the UK and US and those 4 use cases. But we're talking with companies in Finland at the moment. We're talking to people in Sweden. So it's a lot bigger than that. But we need to kind of remain focused to make sure that we don't get carried away.
So I'm up next.
Hiya.
So my mum has dementia.
Yeah.
And the anxiety is insane. And it's amazing how it affects her. So I think what you're doing is incredible. So here's my question. Dementia and a lot of these disorders tend to happen in folks who are older.
Yep.
And your price point was quite high.
Yes.
And that's what I was wondering, because there's really a cluster increasing the anxiety, certainly on the family members, of the cost of having dementia and any of these, because it's exponential. It's not even about the dementia, it's about the fact that she doesn't turn on the lights, so she falls in the middle of the night and breaks her ribs. So my question is, how is someone who's in that category going to afford this? So is that going to be a barrier for you?
No, so the dementia, I should have said, sorry, apologies, the dementia model is the $19.99 a month. And in fact, we are talking with the labels about reducing it to the kind of more Spotify area. But when you consider, we've done a huge amount of research in the UK. Families are generally paying around £4,000 a month for a resident to put a family member within a care home. It's a huge amount of money, and the benefit of this in terms of the benefit to the individual concerned and the family members as well, because it does impact them. I've seen it, as I said, with Brian and Vera. They lost their ability to talk to each other. They lost their bond. We've not come up against any issues. Where we have come up against one issue is we're talking to a particularly large care home. There's got 330 care homes. They kind of want to buy into it, but they want a site license and discount, as you would expect.
Yeah, they'd want a group license.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
the best with that.
Thank you.
Really.
I've got good and bad news for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the good news is we invested in this market. You are in a billion plus.
I need it.
You're really in a billion plus market.
Yeah.
The bad news is that as a first step, I would reconsider your CFO then. I really do, because you need to be bold in this market. Yeah. My question is, because you went over very fast, what's the underlying magic? What's the AI technology? Why?
So the AI bit for us is we know, so the human brain responds, the brain's really split into 4 parts: the amygdala, the motor cortex, the auditory cortex, and the base of the brain. That's the key components that process music. And the brain processes music more than any other stimulus. It's influenced. In fact, music's a natural language. We know how the various features of music, like tempo, timbre, affect each component of that brain as a result of the work that we did on the papers that I mentioned. So the AI, that creates a fingerprint. Later on, in the instance of someone having a wearable, if we know how they should respond, we can swap tracks out if they don't respond in the way that we expect. That will then go to machine learning process to refine it. But the AI at the moment is based on physiological data. It's not based on the music at all. It's all physiological data, metadata. Yeah.
Last question. I work in the health business.
Hello.
I'm an investor in health. So I'm a little bit the same. The first question is like the magic. There's indeed a lot of publications in this area, but there's very little well-controlled data.
Agreed, yes.
So how are you sure, and it's a little bit the same question, that you're touching the magic? That's one.
Yep.
The second question is, once you're touching the magic and you're making claims that you're improving life, once you want to commercialize that, authorities are going to ask you to prove that.
Yep, yep.
And that's not in a setting of a research group. So how have you envisioned and included that in your business model? Once you get bigger, that you will have to do things that are quite expensive to prove the claim that you reduce heart rate or whatever.
So you're quite correct, and we're all about ongoing efficacy. So that's important. That's key to us, given the fingerprint question earlier. We've just been awarded an Innovate grant to process Indian and Pakistani music for that and measure the outputs across dementia care homes in the north of England where we're based, because there's a lot of them there that are kind of Asian specific. There are grants available, but there are also differences in terms of real-world validation and an RCT. So we're finding, particularly in the US, and we're in early stage conversations with our setup in the US, we're finding that the US is moving more towards real-world validations with digital therapeutics. We do have, like Big Pharma, when we do a trial, we go through the same process as Big Pharma. It's a 468-page IRIS form and our IRB form, committees and things like that. But it is changing, it's loosening up, but we do budget for it. We have budgeted for it.
Thank you, Geyre.
Thank you.
Next one, Ibrahim will pitch to artist. Ibrahim, the stage is yours.
Sorry, mate. Can you tell me which one of it? Oh, the PowerPoint one. I got two. So which one? Dimode or deck. Oh no, you don't have it. It was in the Google Drive. Yeah, yeah. This is not the one. Yes, but I think, one second. Oh my lord. It was on PowerPoint. No, it's fine. Hey everybody. All right. 10 years ago, I was in New York launching a record label with renowned rappers Waka Flocka and French Montana. During our launch, I spent countless hours on Instagram and YouTube trying to find the next big artist to sign. It was a long and tiring process as the platforms were broad and unfocused, and the algorithms favored popular artists, making it very difficult to discover new talent. To discover new talent, we needed $40,000 to attract 150 artists and over 500 supporters to freestyle events and audition nights. But the label never launched, but many lessons were learned. Last year, with only $16,000, artists attracted over 200 artists and 5,000 fans. Now, how did we do that? We launched a social video application where labels and fans can find artists on a streamlined and dedicated platform. 10 of the $16,000 went to Santo, who at the time had 3,000 Instagram followers. After the contest, in less than a year, he has over 25,000 followers, a 300% increase in content viewership, and is getting a lot more stage time. Here we can prove that artists can gain validation on our platform through fans and a jury without the need to go viral on social networks or have a large following, which are crucial and painful requirements by major record labels. What's more important is that we're more than just a social video application. We're a gamified platform where every performance is rated out of 10, ensuring a level playing field where they can create, compete, and get discovered. We offer them a suite of features to increase their exposure and opportunity. Here's Sharewave, for example, where if one artist shares his performance, 12 other artists will have to share that performance on all social networks as well, increasing his exposure and decreasing his marketing spend in return. We have Open Stage, where they're customizable multi-stage contests. They can be used by labels to find their next big talent, or by major artists and producers to find their next big feature. Also, they can be used by brands. When we piloted our product last year, we achieved 11,000 users in less than 3 months with a CAC of less than $4 before any optimizing. Our 2-tier subscription model, it targets widely to the 55 million aspiring artists, and that doesn't include other creative segments of talents that we'll be willing to target soon. Our team is heavily involved in music and tech. Me previously, I've launched the first equity crowdfunding platform in the Middle East. We have Antoine Troop, who's led choreographies for Drake, Rihanna, and Burna Boy. Today, we're asking for $1.1 million that will achieve scale and effective profitability after reaching 11,000 subscribed users. Now, you heard our story. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Just before launching the question, we are a little bit late, as I think you have seen that. So we will remove the break, sorry for that. And for the 2 panel, it will be just after, so this panel and in the other room, just after the pitching session. Thank you for your understanding. So now the questions for Ibrahim.
Thank you for your pitch. Why would you, when you're talking to an artist, why would you say that they should spend time on working with you versus on TikTok, where there's a lot of, or Instagram, where there's a lot of discovery happening naturally? You're looking like this question was going to come up, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
We have TikTok right here. We are a segmented platform for talents only. So eliminate all the other noise, recipes, talents, hacks, so on and so forth. It's only for artists. Also, our funnel of contests, they love it. Now, there are contests on TikTok, but we have a community and exposure effect on our platform. We build communities between artists. The best ones are part of a collective where they support each other, collaborate with each other. They get a suite of features from AI lyrics. We connect them to labels. We connect them to other event managers. These are things bigger platforms don't focus on, and we do.
Hey, good pitch. Enjoyed it. So I think I've got the sister question to that question. So like, there's a ton of apps in the world. There's a load of stuff that like kind of competes for our attention, etc. So like, what's your approach to actually taking this to market and bringing like music consumers, fans, etc. to the platform?
Great question. We don't want to be the next TikTok or YouTube. Our angle is more LinkedIn meets The Voice with a twist on community and exposure, right? So we don't want to. Of course, it's a network effects game. There's demand and supply. We're going to focus on the supply initially of getting all the users to compete in contests, and the best ones are part of the collective. This is what we focus on. And in the long run, the fans will find the artists on our platform. Whoever wants to leave TikTok, for example, and just find a niche group of rappers competing in Azerbaijan, they can find that in one room. So this is our angle, but we focus mostly on the exposure and opportunity part, which is linking them to labels, event managers, and other artists and producers to feature with, which no other app is focusing on. Second part to your question, to answer that, is that it's gamified. Nobody's gamifying it the way we do. Every performance is literally rated out of 10. And that rating is affected on your profile, and the higher you're rated, the more you'll trend. Here we're really democratizing music. Fans and the people will vote on who's the next big star, effectively. Thank you.
Just for the jury, we have changed the list, so pay attention on the list. Thank you for telling me. So normally it was manager.ai now, and then artist, it's the opposite. So thank you and sorry for that. Other question?
Did you think the extend your services, like to provide the management services or the digital to the artist in your platform, because the beat stars also the giving the publishing service, publishing administration service to the selected beat maker.
So, just to answer your question correctly, if we go into the management mode as a platform ourselves, this is a future angle we're going to be considering, yes, when we scale.
Okay, great.
Good question, thank you.
No questions? Okay, thank you, Ibrahim. And last but not least, Thomas will pitch you MNGRS.ai. Thomas, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. So I would like to start by telling you the story of a friend. I remember 2 years ago, I met Christophe in Berlin in a bar for a couple of beers. And Christophe told me, dude, it's more than 3 years that I started releasing music and nothing is working. It's flat. And I don't have skills, I don't have no one to help me, I don't have time. And he looked very desperate and frustrated. And soon, there will be more than 100 million music creators in Christophe's situation. And the question is, how do you do as an artist without industry know or professional support to start and grow a career? And that's why we created MNGRS.ai, the first AI-powered music manager, helping creators like Christophe to go from 0 to 1 and beyond. So how does it work? By cross-processing user data and music intels, each music creator benefits from a fully customized support on music, fan base, business, and live, providing them strategies, action plans, and ready-to-use assets. And to start with, we created a release plan generator. So the artists simply provide few details about themselves and their new project, and it instantly generates a personalized 6-week release plan with social media posts, banners for platform, message for fan, etc. By doing that, we structure and simplify their work, we save them time, and maximize their chance of success. So with Alexandre, my business partner, sorry, with more than 40 years combined of experience in the industry, and for the last 12 years, we've been working together almost daily. So, a solid team on a mission to give every music creator a fair and equal chance of success. So, right now, we are in partnership with SACEM for close test of our MVP, the release plan generator. We will go live with it in July and plan to release the first version of Managers by January 25. Which is why we are on a pre-seed round of 1 million. We raised already 600K and are thinking for an additional 400. So if you're an investor and you want to help all the Christophe of tomorrow and of course make money, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Questions?
Say again.
No, I'm coming.
What?
Yeah, thank you. I was asking, what are you referring to by music intel? What is that?
So, yeah, it's a big word. We did that in purpose of simplifying the pitch, but the idea is to provide, music intel could be professional processes, could be database of services, could be database of person, could be generative AI system. For example, we've been on one part to generate the banner for the platform. For example, for SoundCloud, for Spotify, etc. We developed from Stable Diffusion our own system to create banners that will adapt with pre-release, post-release, etc. So that's a mix of all Intel. Tomorrow it will be split sheet generator, etc. So it's everything from the music industry.
Got it. And is Christoph successful now? Did you help him?
Christoph is a tester, yeah. So Christoph is working with us on it.
I'm coming.
So, I think we all know that it's not the easiest thing to get artists to pay for things. So I'd like to know a bit about your financial model, and I'll just give you my questions up front, it's easier. So what is the cost to an artist? And are you anticipating that it's a once-off sale? What are you going to do in terms of repeat business and increasing your ARPU?
So the model is a subscription model. Right now, on the first version that I was talking about in January 25, we plan to release at €15 per month. And of course, the question is coming back always, like the artists don't have extensive pocket, especially the early stage creator. So right now we are considering, of course, the model right now we are developing is B2C, but of course we are thinking already how could this model be licensed to distributors and increase value for all these actors of the let's say the industry that have a big pool of creators that really needs this kind of support.
Hi there. Thank you for your pitch. I have a bunch of questions, but my primary one is about relationships. And we know often that a successful manager does both the relationship building with the external world for the band and then also managing the emotional component of the band themselves because they need a coach or a mentor. How does this product fill those shoes?
Okay, so the first thing is that we don't aim to replace manager. The thing is, manager is a very tough work and is finding opportunities, connecting, networking, etc. So our goal is not to replace the manager. Our goal is to help all those people who cannot access a manager because they are starting a career, etc. So it's a focus for us. How we know and we found out that all those artists, they feel alone. So our goal is to try to humanize a maximum this relationship and try to recreate this, digitally, this relationship, but meaning tomorrow you could receive a WhatsApp message telling, oh, did you post your post today? Or WhatsApp message, hey, it's your manager, we get a new playlist on Spotify. And so the idea is how we can recreate this relationship and kind of bring a component that fill the void and fill the loneliness of the artist.
I think my question is kind of part two to your question because I was going to talk about relationships, but this feels to me like a kind of support for early stage talent in terms of marketing more so than management. Is that kind of correct? Because you're saying it's going to pull down strategy for you to a release strategy essentially. So that feels more like a kind of marketing platform to help early stage talent get their music into the market. Is that more? Because you mentioned as well something about there being business tools available, and I'd be interested to know what those tools are and what they look like, because the world of a manager is extremely complex, and I've seen a few of these kind of solutions to management, but I'm not quite sure. I don't really believe in any of them yet because they mostly are marketing. So I'm trying to understand how this is different.
Yeah, true. So the first point, and we had to start somewhere because we didn't have money at the beginning, was what could be the most efficient and most common problem of early stage artists. So we went in the vertical music, helping the artists with the release plan generator to be sure that all the tick, the box are ticked to go through that. But the thing is, with the tool, we don't want only to go on marketing and promotion. That's one part of it. That's generating assets, that's generating biography, that's helping with the branding, etc. When we speak about live, the idea is the artist. So we come after the creation of the music. But on the legal side, for example, the idea is, okay, you don't know that you need a split sheet. So we generate you a split sheet. And that's bring a first piece in the legal side. When we say business, we have a lot of data everywhere, but if you're an artist and you go on Spotify for Artists or you're on Soundcharts or Chartmetrics, how do you read this data? How do you analyze it? And the idea is how we can, with manager, provide an explanation and extract action out of the data. So it's not only meaning it could be for live, it could be for release, it could be for anything, but the idea is not to, I mean, today we see a very fragmented market of services. You can do promotion with Groover, you can do paid marketing with Base for music, you can do sync, you can do that. But at the end of the day, the artist, he doesn't know that. So it's how we can monetize, how we can provide you this service depending on your level, your geography, your genre. And so the approach is to be more holistic and have a larger approach, not to do everything, not to do the paid marketing, but telling you, okay, you've got in France 15 to 25 years old fan base there, you should focus on that, on marketing. And to do that, maybe you go to Base for Music or you go to another service. So
what stage in the journey is your ideal user?
For now, the persona is a young artist that has been releasing 2-3 projects, could be in SoundCloud, could be on YouTube, could be on the platform, and that's the first one we want to address. The service basically is working on 3 verticals: the artist level, the genre, and the geographic region. So for the MVP, we are in France. On the persona, we are on the early stage artists. And on the genre, we are on hip-hop, electronic music artists, principally.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Maxence, Denis, Lydia, Ryan, Ben, Geyre, Thomas, and Ibrahim for their pitch. I think we can give them a big round of applause.